Hey guys, my name is Mary Claire Patton, and I'm doing a case study video project on disruptive behavior in class for my classroom management course. This video will show you the scenario along with 2 ineffective reactions and 2 effective responses to handle the situation. Here's the scenario. While you're in the middle of teaching a lesson from the front of the room with all of your students sitting on the carpet crisscross applesauce, one student will not stop rolling around and making disruptive noises. You gently remind the student to please quietly sit up and pay attention to the lesson. The student ignores you and continues to roll around while making disruptive noises. Other students are now looking at him more than you. You say, "Please sit up and listen." The student sits up, rolls his eyes, sighs, and then begins rolling around again. The rest of the students look at you, awaiting what will happen next. The first ineffective way to handle this situation would be yelling and screaming at the child, saying, "I said sit still." This will most likely only make the problem worse or cause the student to disrupt even more for the negative attention that he may be possibly seeking. Threatening this child with consequences such as removing his recess or not allowing him to attend co-curricular classes or shaming him in front of his peers may immediately get the reaction and behavior that he wanted, but it is not a solution in helping him modify his behavior. The reason this is ineffective is because this child is displaying behavior that more than likely he is unable to control, and yelling at him is not the solution. It is my job as a teacher to provide options and tools that will enable this child to make better choices. This process will take longer, but the outcome will be positive and lasting. Another ineffective way to handle this situation would be to continue to repeat yourself and not take any other action. At this point, the child is being a disruption and something needs to happen in order to be redirected. It is not fair to the other children to have this child interrupting their learning, especially when they are all behaving the correct way. Also, if the teacher continues to repeat herself and the child is still not listening, but the teacher is still not doing anything else to handle this, then other students may repeat this kind of disruptive behavior since it seems like the teacher is just trying to ignore the child and move on with the lesson. One effective way to handle this situation would be to switch to whole group behavior modification. When a child is observed rolling around and having a difficult time while attending in whole group discussions, switching to whole group behavior modification should help the problem. I will ask the child who is rolling around to be my helper. It is his job to drop a marble or a chip in a jar when he observes appropriate behavior during the activity. Allowing this child to actively move while observing appropriate behavior is a win-win for him as well as his peers. He becomes in charge of appropriate behavior, and he also works next to me, the teacher. This activity also allows him to physically move, which he so desperately needs to do. This puts him in a position of importance in front of his peers. When the learning session is over, I will ask him to explain what behavior he chose to reward and why. The other students will be encouraged to participate. This modification may help this particular student develop behavior that will be long-term. Another effective way to handle this situation would be to, in the moment, move the student closer to you, the teacher, to see if this will help the situation using proximity, or have the student sit in a chair instead of on the floor. If this works, for future lessons at the carpet, I would place the student at the back of the carpet so that if rolling is something he needs to do to listen and can do so without bothering the rest of the class, he may. This project has taught me so much about classroom management and the responsibilities teachers have to keep things running smoothly and under control. The responses I received from other teachers helped me learn even more about different effective and ineffective ways to approach and handle certain situations. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch mine, and I look forward to watching y'all's.